What is going on, everybody? Sports Expert here, and we are here with our Week 5 NFL picks. Before we start the video, please hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Turn on the post notification bell. Like the video. Comment what you think. Liking and commenting helps us in the algorithm, so that would be appreciated very much. Helps the channel out, helps the football community on YouTube around. So yeah, let's get right into it with Thursday Night Football as we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. The Buccaneers are coming off a home blowout win against the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Atlanta Falcons are coming off a home win against the New Orleans Saints. So the Falcons were able to scrap up a win with a Younghoe Koo field goal, 58 yards, the longest of his career, and the Falcons, they look pretty good. They're pretty close to being a 4-0 team. A narrow loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 1, then a narrow loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. You could argue they got screwed in that game on a pass interference call, so that was definitely interesting there. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're playing really good football. Their only losses against a Broncos team who might be better than we think due to their defensive prowess. So, yeah, I mean, this could be a very solid matchup. This is going to be a tough one to pick, but I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons in this one, 23-20. I'm going to trust the coaching staff of Raheem Morris here, and I think they will find ways to adjust to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. I think they'll find ways to contain Baker Mayfield, and they'll make him win the game with his arm, which he's shown he can do, but I think the Falcons will be pretty much ready for the challenge. They got Justin Simmons, Jesse Bates in that secondary, A.J. Terrell still, so it's going to be a tough win for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and also the Atlanta Falcons. But the Buccaneers do have a few more injuries on defense than the Atlanta Falcons have, so I'm going to take the Falcons in this one, 23-20. Next, we have the New York Jets and the Minnesota Vikings. This will be a London game, so yes, so the Minnesota Vikings, they're 4-0. The Jets are 2-2. And the Minnesota Vikings look like the better team overall right now. And that's why I'm picking them in this matchup. The Jets don't look too inspired. The confidence isn't there between Robert Saleh and Aaron Rodgers. Not a lot of chemistry. The Vikings are the opposite. They have a lot of chemistry. There's a lot of confidence in that room right now. So the Vikings are playing well defensively. Sam Darnold's playing his best ball ever. So give me the Vikings in this one, 27-16. I just can't pick the Jets until they show something. Their wins this year are against the New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans. We have the Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears up next, as the Panthers are 1-3 coming off a loss to the Bengals, and the Bears are coming off a win against the Rams at home. So this is going to be an interesting one. I could see this game being a defensive battle. The Panthers did have a massive loss today. Shaq Thompson, he has torn his Achilles, was playing some of the best football of his career. That's a big loss for that defense. And I think the Chicago Bears are going to edge the Panthers here. 19-13 is my prediction. I think the Bears will do enough. I think Matt Eberflus will coach a solid game plan in order for the Chicago Bears to be ready to win this game. I also think the problem I'm having with the Panthers is just I'm not so sure that receiving core can be consistent. They have guys, they have names, but Adam Thielen's injured. Deontay Johnson might be injured now, even though it might not be too serious, but there's something going on there. And if he's not 100%, that could hamper. Xavier Legette has his moments, but also had some drops. Same with Jonathan Mingo. I just don't know if the Panthers offense will get into the type of rhythm that they need to against this solid Bears defense, and I think the Bears will overwhelm the Panthers when it's all said and done. Give me Matt Eberflus and company to win this game. Next, we have a pretty good game. We have the Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals, an AFC North matchup. The Ravens are coming off a blowout win at home, 35-10 against the Buffalo Bills. And the Bengals are coming off a win at the Panthers, 34-24. The Bengals are looking to get back on track. They're looking to improve their defensive prowess, as it just hasn't been very good so far this season. Joe Burrow still looks solid. Jamar Chase had a solid game against the Carolina Panthers, but they're going to need to pick it up if they want to go out and beat the Baltimore Ravens. I know the Baltimore Ravens had a poor start to the season, but I'm going to trust the Ravens in this one anyway, though, because I believe I believe in their coaching staff more. I think what they did to Buffalo's coaching staff, the way John Harbaugh and company just outcoached, I think that was really impressive. And the Bengals, I'm just not too sold on that defense. I think the Ravens win in a close one. This will be close until the end, 28-24. We have the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. The Dolphins play Monday Night Football, but their quarterback situation is in question, and the New England Patriots are coming off a 30-13 loss at the San Francisco 49ers. This might be an interesting one, but I'm going to take the New England Patriots to win this game. They win a lot of games against the Miami Dolphins, even though it hasn't been too noticeable lately, of course, without Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in the fold. The Patriots, I just think they'll end up winning a very tight game. This is going to be a tight game. I don't think there's any doubt about it. You're going to have Snoop Huntley likely versus Jacoby Brissett. And the Dolphins do have more weapons, but at the same time, I think the Patriots' defense is more equipped to win this football game. They're more physical. I think Gerard Mayo will have his guys going. I'm going to take the Patriots in this one. It's going to be a very close game, but one of these games where the Dolphins try to tie it on a two-point conversion or whatnot, and they just fall short. Give me the Patriots. We have the Cleveland Browns and the Washington Commanders. So the Commanders, they are coming off a 42-14 win against the Arizona Cardinals, and the Cleveland Browns are coming off a 20-16 loss at the Las Vegas Raiders. So the Browns aren't looking too good right now, and that's the opposite for the Washington Commanders, a team that's looking phenomenal. So I'm going to take the Commanders in this one, 30-23. I think the Browns defense will be overwhelmed. If they can't cover in man coverage, they're not going to be able to do much with zone coverage. They just haven't shown enough this season under Jim Schwartz in that category. The Commanders, they'll call some plays, some end arounds, which will trick the Browns, which they've struggled with ever since Jim Schwartz got there. I think Jan Quinn will coach a solid game plan. I think Kevin Stefanski and his team will be ready to play, but I think the Commanders pull through when it's all said and done. We have the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Colts are coming off a really nice home win against the Pittsburgh Steelers, 27-24. And then we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 0-4. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take the Colts in this one. I can't pick the Jaguars right now. I'm not going to trust them. And, I mean, Doug Peterson, he just looked like a shell of himself at the press conference. And it looked like there's just no confidence brewing in that locker room for the Jaguars. And I'm going to stick with the Jaguars being 0-5 here. I think this could be the nail in the coffin for Doug Peterson and company. The team just doesn't seem motivated at this point. The Colts seem much more motivated. They're rallying around Anthony Richardson and Joe Flacco. Shane Steichen's doing his job. The Colts are going to bounce back from their 1-2 start, and they're going to go to 3-2 here. We have the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans, another solid matchup. This time in Houston, in Energy Stadium, or whatever they call that stadium now. The Bills, they struggled against the Baltimore Ravens. And the Houston Texans, they struggled with the Jacksonville Jaguars until the end when they were able to pull away with that game-winning touchdown with 8 seconds to go. Yeah, the problem I have with the Bills in this matchup is Joe Mixon is going to play in this game. He almost played yesterday, but they sat him out as precaution. He's going to play. The Texans have 3 solid backs, Dameon Pierce, Joe Mixon, if Dameon Pierce can come back from injury, and I believe Cam Akers. Those are guys that are serviceable. Nothing flashy. I mean, Joe Mixon's pretty good, but at the same time, I think the Bills' run game defense is going to struggle. The run defense has been pretty poor. And what overshadows that is they've blown out teams. They blew out the Jaguars, the Dolphins. So those teams had to pass a lot. So they didn't really have an opportunity to show how the deficiencies of their run defense. But I don't know. I think it's just one of those things where the Texans are just going to overwhelm the Bills on the run game. I think it's going to be a good game. I think there's going to be a lot of passing in this game. It is a passing league. Remember that. Teams are going to want to pass, but teams know that run defenses are starting to look a bit weaker because teams like to prepare for the pass more than the run, and I think the Texans take advantage of that, and they find a way to win this one 34-31. Maybe a Kyrie Fairbairn game-winning field goal. Who knows? We have the Las Vegas Raiders coming off that win against the Browns versus the Denver Broncos coming off a 10-9 win on the road against the Jets. This is going to be a low-scoring game. I don't trust Gardner Minshew. He didn't play very well against the Cleveland Browns. The Denver Broncos, their defense looks terrific. And it's just going to be a pick 'em game here at this point, which offense can show up a bit more. I think both defenses will do fine. We'll see if Max Crosby and Devontae Adams can come back. If so, the Raiders have a chance. But if not, I think the Broncos will win this one. Although I think the Broncos will win this one at home. They'll take advantage of their as they are more used to the mile-high effects in Denver than the Raiders are. I'm going to take that into effect, and I think Bo Nix, he won't play great, but he'll do enough as a game manager to get this team a win, to go to 3-2. We have the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. The Cardinals are coming off that 42-14 blowout loss at home against the Commanders, and the 49ers are coming off a 30-13 blowout win at home against the New England Patriots. I think the Commanders, not the Commanders, but the San Francisco 49ers, as they get healthy, I think they're going to start winning some games. They're going to go on a winning streak here. I'm going to take the 49ers in this one, 29-18. Not much to say here. I just don't think Jonathan Gannon will find a way to outcoach Kyle Shanahan and company. Kyler Murray didn't play great versus the Commanders, and it was a really good matchup for the Cardinals, that Commanders team, but they just weren't able to show anything, and it's not giving me enough confidence in me to pick the Cardinals to upset the 49ers. We have the Green Bay Packers at the Los Angeles Rams. The Packers are coming off a poor. They only lost by 2, but it was not a very good performance overall by the Green Bay Packers coming off that loss against the Vikings. And then we got the Rams coming off that loss against the Bears. The Rams have too many injuries right now. I think as Jordan Healthy starts to get healthier, I think the Packers will adapt as time goes by. And I just don't know if the Raiders can catch up with these injuries. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua won't be playing. The offensive line will still be banged up. I think the Packers defense finds a way to get a stop late in the game, and I think that's the difference here. I do think the Rams will compete because Matthew Stafford is gritty. We know that. And Sean McVay is a very good head coach, but I think Matt LaFleur and the Packers win it in the end. We have the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. The New York Giants are coming off a 20-15 loss against the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday Night Football, and the Seattle Seahawks are coming off Monday Night Football. That game has not been played yet, but I'm going to take the Seahawks in this one, 24-13. There's just not a lot of confidence in me picking the Giants right now. They might not be the worst team in the world, but they're definitely not the best. I think the Seahawks will overwhelm them, especially with Mike McDonald, terrific head coach. I just don't see a lot of offense for the Giants here. They won't be able to run the ball. They're going to need to pass the ball with Daniel Jones' arm in order to have a chance in this game, and I just don't see them doing that. Malik Neighbors is hurt. We don't know if he's going to come back or whatnot, so we'll see. We have the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers, America's game of the week, or Sunday Night Football, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm going to say this is an interesting game. Another low-scoring game here. The Cowboys' offense hasn't been in sync all season. The Steelers' defense has been pretty solid, although Alex Highsmith is out. But I'm going to take the Steelers at home in this one. I think they're going to get a nice Heinz Field win. Remember that game-winning touchdown by Ezekiel Elliott a couple years ago? It's the Steelers. I mean, that was something. But that's not going to happen here with Zeke. He's washed now. I hate to say it as a Buckeye fan, but, I'm diehard. But the Pittsburgh Steelers will win this one 18-15. I think Justin Fields will do enough to win this game. I think Mike Tomlin will coach up a pretty good game plan. I 1000% trust Mike Tomlin's coaching staff over Mike McCarthy's, and that's not even a debate. So I think that'll come into effect. The Steelers won't be able to run the football, but I think Justin Fields will do enough, and he'll show why he should be the main guy in Pittsburgh. I just don't know about the Cowboys. I don't think they'll be able to run the ball really either. It's going to come down whose passing game succeeds more, and you would think the Cowboys' passing game would succeed more. Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, but I just don't have a lot of confidence in the way Dak Prescott is playing this season. I think Justin Fields has been more efficient, and with the way the Steelers coach, I'm going to take them at home on Sunday night. Going to get a big win here. Close one, but just enough. And on Monday Night Football, we have the New Orleans Saints and the Kansas City Chiefs. The New Orleans Saints had that great start on offense against the Carolina Panthers and the Dallas Cowboys, but haven't looked the same in their last 2 games. They did get kind of unlucky in that Falcons game, had that pass interference, and then Younghoe Koo was able to hit a 58-yard field goal. If that pass interference doesn't happen, they're likely 3-1. And then we have the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 4-0, coming off a gritty 17-10 win at the Chargers. Allowed 10 points in the first quarter, didn't allow any in the second, third, or fourth. I'm going to take the Saints in an upset here. I think the Chiefs are going to... This is going to be a letdown spot for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 4-0. They're due for a loss. I think Patrick Mahomes' performance this season just hasn't been up to par for his standards. And without Rashee Rice, who's likely out for the season with a torn ACL, the Chiefs are going to have to look. I mean, they have a long week. They have an extra day to prepare, but they're going to have to look for options in that receiving core. And with the way Mahomes is playing, I just don't express a lot of confidence in the Chiefs right now. I do think they can repeat, but I think it's one of those things where you got to look at maybe a letdown spot here. Maybe this is an opportunity where the Chiefs look forward to the New Orleans Saints offense too much, and they go by how they can stop this and that, and they don't look to address what they need to do to move the ball down the field without Rashee Rice and company and with the way Patrick Mahomes is playing. So they got to get Travis Kelce involved. But I think the New Orleans Saints are going to find a way to contain him. And if they do, it's going to be up to Xavier Worthy, a young rookie. I just don't know if he can do it himself. I know he's hella talented, but at the same time, I think the Saints are going to find a way here. I'm not the biggest fan of Dennis Allen's coaching ways, but I think he finds a way here and finds a way to contain Patrick Mahomes and company. I think if they can run the ball, if Alvin Kamara can run the ball, the Saints will have a good chance to win this game. I'm going to take the Saints in an upset 27-23. So I appreciate everyone being here, sports expert here. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Turn on the post notification bell. Like the video. Comment what you think. We'll likely have a mock draft coming at some point this week and more content maybe. So I appreciate everyone being here, sports expert here. I'm out, guys. Peace.